This is Elizabeth Ocean, and I'm Sage Lavine, and we are going to bring you motivation for this incredible week by helping you rock what we're calling sacred enrollment.
Sacred enrollment, everyone.
If you don't know Elizabeth Ocean, she is a graduate of the Women Rocking Business training programs, and she has been through this content for the last few years, and she has made the enrollment tools that we teach at Women Rocking Business her own. She's taken so much ownership of them that she's retooled them a bit. She's brought her own ideas to our frameworks, and she is rocking enrollment conversations. You guys, she's got $250,000 a year business. She's done several six-figure launches, and she is enrolling over 70% of the people that she talks to into her programs. That means if she talks to 10 potential clients, 7 of them become her paying clients. So pop a yes in the chat if you're like wanting to step into that yourself. Pop a yes in the chat. Remember, bless that which you want. Pop a yes in the chat if you are getting on the enrollment train, opening your heart to enrolling more, contributing to more clients, making more money. Elizabeth, you've been rocking it. When we talk about this concept of sacred enrollment, how do you define it? And what would you say your first tip is?
Oh my gosh, sacred enrollment. It's such a beautiful phrase because for the women that I work with and a lot of the women that are in this sisterhood community, we have holistic hearts. Like we have the feeling that we want our businesses to be in service. We want to do good things in the world. Yes, we want to be abundant and make money doing what we love, but ultimately there's this feeling of, I actually want to make a difference. Like I want to be in service. I want to do good things. And so that's why I use the phrase sacred enrollment, because it is a sacred service to reach out to potential clients and actually have them enroll in whatever it is you have to offer, whether it's your one-on-one practice, which is something I specialize in, or your group programs, or your online, whatever your stuff is. There's a process that happens that is a sacred contract that is between you and your clients, and it's so special. So that's sacred enrollment, and I think that is our first kind of topic here, is just talking about sacred. We were getting so excited behind the scenes.
I know. We've been in Mexico for a few days and we've just been sitting on the beach too much. We needed to come make a video for you. And, you know, Elizabeth is saying the term sacred enrollment, and I want to just add to that it's like a sacred dance. It is sacred the moment a potential client decides to say yes to themselves through your services. It is a sacred moment, and it is this dance. And if you lean too far forward, they're going to lean out. And when you lean too far back, they're not going to know what to do. So Elizabeth, what would you say is like the first tip to really create the kind of magnetism with potential clients to have them, one, recognize you because it's loud and crowded out there, and two, you know, get to know you enough to be able to say yes?
Oh, I love this. Well, this is something that I really started with, that when I learned all of these amazing tools and then carried them forward, I started with this. And this is a mistake, actually, the opposite side of it is a mistake that sometimes women make, is that it's like they're going too far, too fast. And so what really works and keeps it sacred is starting local, like starting with the people who you already know, the people who already are in your network. So this could be past clients you've worked with, current clients that you're currently working with, or just people you know if you don't yet have clients. So I invite everybody to actually take an action step right now and write down the names of 10 potential people that could work with you. So this could, if you don't have clients yet, everybody remember, these are people who just are in your networks who you know would benefit from the healing gifts that you offer. So past people, current people, and people who are just in your networks. And that is going to really help you to move forward. So everybody take that action step down below right now and type the word 10 in the comments down below if you're willing to do it.
And even if you start with 3, you know, you might be saying, I don't know 10 people that would be my potential client, but you know 3 people, or you know 10 people who might know somebody who would be your potential client. 10 people you could just ask. And a great thing to say is something like, hey, I bet you didn't know that I was doing relationship mentorship now. I bet you didn't know that I was helping women find their soulmate. You might not know that I was doing that now. Do you know any women who are single and really wanting guidance in the dating process? It's just as simple as that. So jot down some of this verbiage because it can really support you to just, in a conversational kind of way, reach out to people. And Elizabeth is so right, like to start closer to home rather than being like, how do I find these mystery people online, is so wise.
It's so smart. I love what you were just saying. It's all like, ladies, do this stuff and it's going to help you so much.
Yeah. What would you say the second tip is? You're going to start local. You can start speaking at your local library. You can start speaking at a local street fair, or I literally got one of my first clients at a local street fair. You can start, with people that you know. Let's talk about the second hack.
So our second hack is to build long-term relationships. So sometimes same thing, we think about clients and we're like, where are my clients? And I'm going to go out there, I'm going to go to Instagram, or I'm going to try to go really big. And I'm going to look for these short-term relationships. Like I'm just going to get a person, then move on. But what I found really worked for my business was building long-term relationships over years. And I looked at the relationships that I had, which many of you actually have. If you actually look at the relationships you have, you already have them. And then you can look forward and go, how can I build long-term relationships with people? Don't be disappointed if somebody doesn't sign up for your stuff right away, or if you think they're not paying attention to you. That is actually not true. Maybe they are paying attention to you, but they're not ready to invest because the relationship hasn't been built up. So I think just one step at a time, building up relationships. And this starts with giving and serving people freely and with generosity. And I learned so much of that from you as well.
Oh, I'll just add to that and say that when you help people feel confident, when you help people get some kind of a small win, I have a dating coach friend that helped me with my Bumble profile years ago, and I was like, well, I don't really know if I need dating coaching right now. I just finished this, soulmate program thing I did. And she helped me with my profile so much. And she knew so much about the advice she was giving me. I was like, God, what else does she know that might help me? I kind of want to be in her energy field ongoingly. Like, what if I had her as a coach? What if I could, shoot her an email and let her know like how the date went that I went out on. And that was when I realized I needed to just hire her. And so don't be afraid to help people. I think there's a lot of, there's some messaging out there around like, don't give away too much, but I've actually found the opposite. Like if I just give, and I can feel in my body when I start over giving, and I know you and I have talked about this, but when you just help people and genuinely help them, they feel that. It's not slimy, it's not manipulative. This is called like transparent selling. This is the sacred enrollment.
And that works for heart-centered women
so much.
You don't want to be told, just go out there and sell and be cheesy. We don't want that. We want to do things that have a feeling of authenticity and alignment with who we really are. And what you were just saying speaks to that so beautifully.
Right. And like, if I were coming to you, if you were someone I knew and I was like, hey, Elizabeth, like, what do you know about helping me find clients online? And Elizabeth was just like, well, you should just sign up for my masterclass. It would just be like, like it would just give me a little bit of like a bad taste. But if you were like, so the first thing I would say, Sage, is to start local. Like, who do you know? And, then be thinking about this. And, oh, I have a free training coming up if you want to join, right? It's like, give people something. But yeah, like, don't give away the farm and don't deplete yourself. Don't deplete your reserves. But always err on the side of generosity and giving somebody like one of your best tips to get them started, and then letting them know that there's more where that came from. And that's just natural for women. And that's what I love about you, is you just open your heart and you just ooze generosity. It's not a surprise to me at all that you're rocking this topic. And I just think when we can go out there and be ourselves and be generous, it feels good. And then we feel good. And then we actually feel magnetic to our potential clients because they can feel us loving what we do. So it's just a part of this whole generosity vortex.
It's the law of attraction in action. It was great. We've been studying it for decades. It actually works in your business as well, which is so special.
100%. That brings us to the third, tip, hack, whatever we're doing here. It's number 3, and it's important. I hope you're taking notes, and pop a yes in the chat if you've gotten anything out of this interview, because Elizabeth Ocean is amazing. And what's the third tip?
Third tip. Okay. So the opposite of this tip is something that I see so many holistic practitioners and spiritual mentors making, which is investing in another modality training and investing in another modality training and never getting training to actually know how business works and how enrollment works. So the third tip here is study enrollment. Study it, become a student of enrollment.
Become a student and become a steward. Like, don't be one of those people that's like, oh, I just want it to be easier. Like, why can't someone just like send me clients? Like, become a steward of this sacred engagement that we're doing, this and this sacred relationship. Because here's the thing, like, who you get to become in becoming a leader who's confident to enroll your potential clients is also the confident leader you get to wake up to every day. And Elizabeth is so right that we have to actually study this stuff, because if you don't have somewhere to go to get your questions answered, to let some mentor know, here's how the conversation went. What should I say to this person? I followed up and they said this, and what do I do now? And
what you were just saying is so beautiful, because when we study enrollment, we can actually realize that there are systems in place. You don't have to make it up, and you don't have to do it on your own. So there are systems and maps that you can follow, that you can all take a deep breath, inhale, and breathe out into the ease that's waiting for you. So I just wanted to add that in. I'm going to share one more tip. So many women in business forget this piece. This is going to blow your minds. And some of you are going to go, oh, this is the piece that I've been missing. And I've seen so many holistic practitioners that I've worked with make this mistake. And it is, they forget to actually invite people to their stuff. So you have so much amazingness. You've got gifts to give. You've got really cool programs or courses or your one-on-one practice. You've got some amazingness to give. And you either forget to invite to your stuff, or you intentionally go, ooh, if they want it, they'll come to me. But something you were saying earlier really made me think of that. And we're going to add this fourth tip. So it is make an invitation. And actually invite people. Say, I have room in my practice. I have a spot open on Thursday. I have a thing that is going to change your life. So actually invite people.
Because if you don't, it's like the most selfish thing that you could do, to not let people know what you have. Not letting them know about what you have is actually more about you and your fears or concerns, or how you might be afraid they might think. It's not about them. If you really make it about them and helping them, you would just invite them, because everybody always has the right to turn you down. And that's actually a great thing, because then you get to build more confidence to say, even if somebody says no, thank you, if I keep going, one of the next people is going to say yes. And what I've found, and what Elizabeth has found again and again, is when we open our hearts and invite people, and we do it from that place of truly an invitation, people feel that and they appreciate it. And then you get to make a difference for them.
Yeah, they're like, thank you for inviting me. I love it so much. So these tips: start local, build long-term relationships, study enrollment, and actually invite people to what you've got. Which of these 4 tips is the one that you need to lean into most, everyone? Post it in the comments down below, which is the one that you're gapping on or missing on, and that you're going to hold yourself accountable for. We want to hold you accountable. In this community is so amazing. So write that one in the comments down below. And then
what are you going to do this week? Are you going to start local? Number 1. Are you going to focus on building more long-term relationships? Number 2. Are you going to study enrollment? Number 3. Or are you going to, number 4, focus on actually making that invitation?
Keep doing your amazing work, because when you do, you make the world a better place.
Your clients are waiting for you. They're not just waiting for someone like you. They're actually waiting for you.
They really are.
And someday you'll have a client like this, and you get to fall in love with your clients, and, just have more incredible humans in the world that you love, because you've gotten a chance to make a difference for them, and then they make a difference for you, and then the world becomes a better place. And don't we all want that?
And you can end up in Mexico together.
You're amazing. Keep shining. Your clients really are waiting. Mwah. Bye, sisters. Have a great week. If you got value from this episode, I invite you to hit the subscribe button so that we can get you weekly business trainings in your inbox to help you grow your impact and your income the women's way. Head over into the Women Rocking Business Sisterhood Facebook group and introduce yourself there, because women go so much further when we go together. Just click the button to subscribe, and we will see you on the other side.